Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Massaro with VetRec, and so for this video, I'm just going to do a basic overview of the program. So, what is VetRec? So, as we like to say, VetRec is an AI scribe and more made exclusively for veterinarians. Our mission statement is to help veterinarians and their teams work more efficiently through software to improve patient care and promote a healthier work-life balance, essentially to get you home on time. I am a veterinarian that spent way too long writing his records, and so this really holds a lot of personal significance for me. But let's jump right into it. So with VetRec, we talk about helping you guys in the three main phases of the appointment: the before the consult, during the consult, and after the consult. So before the consult, what are we doing? A lot of times we're reading referral records. Sometimes these are dozens and dozens of pages long. And so we have a feature called Records Recap. And so what I've done is I've went ahead and uploaded my own dog's records. Hers is not too long, it's only 26 pages, but she has a lot of medical problems, so I knew it would be a good one. And in under a minute, it was able to spit out this summary. So instead of having to read through 26 pages, I can just skim through. It gives me this beautiful, nice little summary, tells me every vet she's ever seen. She's seen my father, she's seen my brother. I love this, all of her prior issues, what she was diagnosed with, when it was diagnosed, her vaccines. Sometimes it's really hard to dig that out of referral records and GP. Every medication she's ever been prescribed, when it was prescribed, what the instructions were, any prior diagnostics. You guys can see just how much time this is going to save you. So that's the before. Then during the consult, my favorite way to use it is just to have it listen to the appointment. You can kind of talk to it after and summarize what happened, but what's really nice is if you just have it listen to the discussion between you and the owner, it can write a SOAP note, and by the time you walk from the exam room to your workstation, a lot of times, again, under 60 seconds, those notes are already done. And so what I did is I talked to my wife for about 15 minutes about our dog, BB, who kind of has a fun story. We adopted him from Texas, from the streets, and had it write a SOAP note for him. I get this question a lot, so I purposely threw in a little bit of extra information, some nonsense conversation. We talked all about adopting him and how the lady that initially took him in couldn't keep him because her cats didn't like him. He was covered in fleas. We named him BB because he has BB pellets stuck under his skin. But it took all of that and wrote me this beautiful, concise history. You know, BB has a history of being a stray with emaciation, scabs, and flea infestation, which is just the medically pertinent information. It's a fun story, but I don't need that in my SOAP note. I really did try to test it at the end here. I was asking my wife about our Thanksgiving plans. Did you text your mom about Thanksgiving? And are we going to Denise's house? And then the Massaros for dessert after that. And it didn't include any of that in my SOAP note. So, for you guys wondering, what happens when we talk about the client's granddaughter's graduation? It won't include that, which is really nice. But it does a great job. So I talked about he's on heart guard and neck guard. It will put in physical exam findings. If you don't say anything about a body system, it'll just put in your default normal, whatever you set that as. And then anything abnormal, you can have it bold. So he's got fractured teeth. Like I said, he's got BB pellets. And I actually said at the base of his left ear, and it automatically puts in AS for me. It knows medical jargon, which I love. It spells Apoquil correctly. I think I have it down here. I love the summary of the owner discussion. This is one of the things I think saves the most time in the assessment where we've been working. You can even have it write a problem list in the format that we like to write problem lists. So again, and then vaccines, everything you did, where you administered it, you can see how much time this is going to save you. And so one of the things I want to show is, and also how customizable this is. That's probably my favorite part, and I think what sets us apart from some of the other programs. And so here, for example, I have a Dr. Mark soap, and it's just so easy to just drag and drop. I can take an entry. Let's say I want to put in the diet. Let's say my history, sometimes for me, I like to make it a list instead of a paragraph. I like a bulleted list for my history. Let's say for my physical exam normals, I get this question a lot. Let's say I'm more of a WNL person than an NSF. It's literally that easy to just update the template. You can update the instructions that you're giving the AI, how you want it to write things, but super, super simple. And so how do I get this into my medical record? They do have integrations with multiple different practice management systems. I'm most familiar with EasyVet, so I'll show that one. Oops. There we go. When I say they, I mean the developers. So they have this great Chrome extension. All I have to do, I'm logged in as myself, so it's going to show me all my visits. All I have to do is click on BB, add all sections to EasyVet. It's going to zoom across my screen. It's one of my favorite parts. And boom, you can even have it do vitals. The vitals will go in the right section. History goes in history. Physical goes in physical. Assessment goes in assessment. Plan goes in plan. So as you can see, you know, I always recommend everybody proofread the notes, make sure it's what they want, but I think the days of us typing out our histories and our plans are potentially gone here, which is so incredible. So the last phase here, the after the appointment. So let's go back to VetRec, and let's go back to BB. They have this section called Client, and these are fully customizable as well. They have some pre-built ones, but now I need a discharge, right? So this will actually make a discharge based on the appointment that I saw with BB. Boom, done. So you saw how fast that was. I can just copy and paste this into EasyVet. Now, what if my client only speaks Spanish? This is pretty amazing. I can change the language. And it can actually understand you in Spanish as well. If you change the settings on the program, if you have a client that only speaks Spanish and you have a technician that can take the history in Spanish, you can have them have the whole conversation in Spanish and still have the scribe work, which is so cool. So there it goes, translating it into Spanish. One of the other things I wanted to show is, let's say I'm a ER veterinarian, and instead of a discharge, I really would like an RDVM letter that kind of goes into more detail about the appointment. All I have to do is hit generate document, say RDVM letter, generate. Boom, and you can see I don't need all the physical exam information for my discharge, but it's nice to have it, ideal body condition, bright alert responsive, in my RDVM letter. All right, so that's a basic overview of the program. That's VetRec in a nutshell. I'm super excited for you guys to try it, and reach out with any questions.